Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, evening, and amazing, spectacular Propagandacast with me, host and Pearl Dane, the one, the only, master of propaganda. Off here to a glorious 1v1 on Amilly Fields, here between PFC and Kimbo. In the south, Kimbo reigning here with the Red Army, the Soviet Union, taking on the role here of the glorious 1st Guards Mechanized Corps here with Guard Rifle, featuring the K1, the Guard Rifle, PP-841s or Conscript Assault Tactics, ML-20 152mm gun howitzers, and air support with triple infantry. North of this, PFC fighting for the Wehrmacht. Germany, Deutschland, roaring out here with the let's just go with Brandenburger Panzergrenadier Division, which is part of the Großdeutschland Panzer Corps after a certain point in the war. And he's got Blitzkrieg, Lightning 1, Spearhead, double gun aiming forward to the PFC, double engineer, double con for Kimbo. Note that is a particular opening here Kimbo has with double engineers lining to grab a bit more territory in the early parts here, because typically against the Wehrmacht you're not like expecting to get rushed, so you're actually not sacrificing too much to the ground engineers. In fact, you're gaining more. So bit of a note there. Also, very big thanks to Warmonger 42 for donating and supporting the Propagandacast with his hard-earned money. Big thanks to you. Other people can join his heroic and spectacular example by donating themselves via PayPal. They can always just join my own personal company heroes by pledging on Patreon. Links in the video description. Also, you can comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. Keep YouTube algorithms engaged. Machine on the west side here. Second squad there for PFC, worth noting. It's actually opening pretty aggressively with a very aggressive machine gun play here, looking to catch Kimbo off guard. And it actually works. The counter immediately meet the MD42 and get a face full there of MD42 fire. No casualties there, but you know, someone probably needs a trip to the medic. East side engineers about to clash with the Grenadiers here as well. Grenadiers moving out there. Gonna see, I imagine, a third Grenadier squad for PFC, bit of skirmishing there. Third conscript there for Kimbo. And the Red Army, Pioneers machinery positioning here. PFC basically decided not to run for too long, of course, expecting to get flanked there, so good play there. That said, his maneuvers a bit too slow. Then Kimbo roaring and rushing forwards for the motherland. Righteous anger filling his heart and his fingers as he charges the conscripts forwards there. Pioneers doing as best they can. Worth noting, keeps their support gunners close as well. They can't do a decent amount of damage alongside the Pioneers. But there you go. Second conscript squad arriving here with sending some things around here. Also worth noting here, Pioneers doing a lot of damage as the conscript actually focusing on to degree the MD42, allowing the Pioneers to get a lot of damage in there. So a bit of a note worth there. We go. Conscript routes in the end here. PFC with only a single Pioneer lost. Actually managed to route two conscript, actually causing quite a bit of damage there. Quite impressive maneuver there by PFC. Thumbs up. Also highlights the power of prioritization and what happens when you get a high priority target that's being pursued, allowing your other stuff to just get a lot of free damage in effectively. Comes then sending MG forward to Grenadiers. Pioneers can try and remember they're going to push forwards here. East side here, skirmishing continues between PFC and Kimbo. More Grenadiers ramming here, going to try and up new home there. Go charging forwards at Kimbo's position here. The conscripts holding the line, but for how long can they hold? Engineers again, the Pioneers down to 2-man, probably to retreat those very, very soon. In the center here, conscripts are being overwhelmed. Does suffer some machine gun losses, but then the Grenadiers push through. In the south here, medics ready for Kimbo already. Good timing there, thumbs up. Pioneers almost got the car point here. Not that he's cutting off a lot, but I guess it's more the principle of it. You know, drawing a line in the sand and then writing Deutschland above that line. Because real men write Deutschland above lines. Grab the point there. They've drawn it is, you know, not just any line. That could cause some problems, in particular when you know, like official forms. So, Mr. Deutschland, yes, that's not a real name. It is now. God damn it, got me there. Anyway, 74 dealing with the conscripts there in the southwest. We got conscripts and these continue to clash out there so far. PFC's got a really good opening in there. Like a lot of fairly efficient engagement versus Kimbo, again, largely centered around the MD42, which, you know, in my opinion, always highlights just how important good aggressive machine gun plays to the Wehrmacht. Though, of course, handling it skillfully, it definitely is the tricky part of the Wehrmacht. But, you know, well-handled machine gun play is really good, obviously. I'd like to make a nice coming for PFC. Guessing an armored car. But on a map like this, a 250 half tech would also be, I think, be pretty good for the mobility, the utility, and of course, the sheer sex appeal. Grenadiers moving straight for the eastern fuel pond here, back in Kimbo's base, nothing further happening there. Maybe planning to go for some guardsmen, maybe planning some tech. We'll have to see, but we do get the armored car there for PFC, of course, a very solid choice, nothing wrong in that. Bunker up there for P as well, that's obviously going to be the medic bunker. Constantly he's going to flank out around here, trying to defend the fuel point. At the same time, of course, Kimbo strikes at his opponent's fuel point. Sandbags down there, very good. Armored columns down there for PFC. Conscripts charging in, the Grenadiers doing what they can here. Yuri drops there, riddled with bullets from the German Grenadier. Mines down here on the retreat path. Sneaky, cheeky, breaky Kimbo. Machine gun holding up here for now, waiting for troops to arrive. Medics right about down, there we go. Armored cart there for PFC, the 2-2, like to punch his spear wagon. Grenadiers right there. There we go, can't be caught out in the open of the armored cart. The cub is soon to slowly crumble away beneath the awesome might of the 2 centimeter autocannon there mounted on it. Backing gears, healing, reinforcing, support and combat for Kimbo, very good. I imagine we're going to see the tank in command into a T-70. Coming sitting out there, like to mechanize company, of course, silent for now. I imagine we'll be seeing a Pack 40 there enough from PFC. Armored car suffers the damaged engine from a mine. Good money there by Kimbo, thumbs up. Definitely going to keep that armored cart there for a while, though. Fortunately for PFC, the pioneers are actually pretty close to it. Constantly charging ahead into... Is he? Yeah, he's getting the anti-tank grenades, so he's going to try and finish off with there with Grenadiers. Does prevent Kimbo from just going in a straight beeline there. Now got Guardsman up there. Bit short munitions there for the light machine gun. If he does want to go for the, toss the anti-tank grenade, it's going to be a bit further there before he can get those light machine guns up on them. Grenadiers before pushing these inside. We got a 4th Grenadier squad for PFC. Interesting. I would have figured maybe a Panzer Grenadier squad here instead. Particularly versus, heavy conscript builds, decent conscript builds. Panzer Grenadiers are great in my opinion. 4 Grenadiers. Might be then Lightning Wall with some G-foot fees as well. Probably not. But either way, could be consideration there. Grenadiers with Engineers here over the eastern victory point. Western one, we got Grenadiers with the 2 squads moving up. The Engineers with Flamefields, of course, conscripts. Quickly pushing back the Grenadiers. They're very good. Armored car ready to move. In the east side, Engineers slowly being whittled down. In the center, Grenadiers moving up into with the conscripts there. A lot of engagement across the entire map here, more or less from between Kimbo and PFC. PFC continues, though, to not quite push a doctrine yet. That said, with 2 doctrines featuring Tiger tanks, and with Tiger tanks becoming a much stronger part of the German metagame as of late, I'd say chances of either these 2 being picked are fairly strong. But whether or not, of course, you should go for them is an entirely different thing, but I mean, you sort of like look at what most players are doing at the moment. It's fairly likely we're going to see out of these 2. Meanwhile, PFC going for another MD42 there. Fairly heavy, like tier 1 Preston with 4 Grenadiers, 2 MD42s. Quite a bit of firepower there. Definitely going to have some good map control here versus Kimbo. I definitely liked having 2 machine gun teams, in particular the way that PFC has so far made excellent use of the MD42. So that way, push, suppress, but also allow to just find engagements more manpower efficiently. So I mean, another machine gun I think could do a lot there for PFC and make things further uncomfortable for Kimbo. Who's pushing there though for T70, and of course probably should have gone for a Pack 40 before the second MD42. I mean, again, 2 MD42s I think is great. Personally, what I like to have is with the Wehrmacht personally. But again, I would probably go for a Pack 40 here, unless it's got some telemines down all over the place, which I don't think PFC has. Still getting a lot of damage into Kimbo nonetheless. Though Kimbo's doing a great job slowing down here PFC's fuel income, so he doesn't snowball into fast tanks here, which of course is quite crucial. Machine gun in the center there could consider some sandbags to maybe to make it a bit more defensible. And of course some telemines here and there from PFC could also be a great idea. Minesweepers though would, I think, also be very handy, since Kimbo's obviously on himself as being a fairly good miner. Moves to the console there, Pack 40 for PFC, the Panzerabwehrkanone 40. And we go, T-70 light train there for Kimbo, and the Red Army. The T-70 was effectively a stopgap measure to take use of certain production lines that, were producing the T-60 and T-50, since otherwise, well, they'd have to scrap them entirely. They need to produce some sort of tank, so the T-70 was effectively made there. It was a stopgap solution. The Surge well wasn't the greatest tank, but it just had to make something while they were shifting all the production lines away from where the Germans could reach them more towards the Ural Mountains. That resulted in stuff like the T-70 there. So, fun fact there. And highlights one of the things that perhaps doesn't get discussed a lot when it comes to shifting production lines. You can't just immediately start making, different kinds of tanks. You have to retool and everything else, and that can actually require a lot of resource, times, and effort. That's, for example, why the Germans never just switch towards making Panthers, because that means, you know, shutting down Panther 4 production lines and, you know, shifting them towards Panthers, which would take quite some time. And meanwhile, they wouldn't be producing any Panther 4s. Not that Hitler didn't try to do that, but, you know, they stopped him from doing that, because, again, they would have pretty much been in a very bad place if they'd done that. T-70 straight into the Pack 40. Good hit there from PFC's Pack 40 there on the T-70. Could get another hit, in which case the 2-2 could technically manage to finish it off. In there go main gun out. Can't even defend himself now. On the west side, finishes the conscript engineers. East side there, PFC slowly advancing with the grenadiers. Machine control reinforcing, healing, and setting out. Finishing with the cannon against the conscript on the west side. We got 391 to 427. Sandbag shattered here. The Guardsmen found themselves a bit exposed against the grenadiers with their LMG 42. Hitting the dirt there. Could see some text on there from PFC. Wouldn't be a half bad idea to get some timings ready for that. You could theoretically try like a rush out Ostrom right now versus Kimbo. I think that could be a fairly efficient and aggressive move. Again, if PFC is, you know, planning for something like a Tiger tank, he's probably not going to go for that. We shall see. T's being fixed up there. Good work by Kimbo there. W is working on it. Thumbs up. Means it spends as little time as possible, you know, doing nothing, and spends more time doing what matters, which is killing Germans. It's always wise, like, it's important after a certain point to have at least two, you know, pioneer engineer, whatever one you call it, the units. Like at a certain point, just to like make sure your tanks are spending as little time, you know, doing nothing while waiting repairs. And there's right there, good kill here by Kimbo's T-70 light tank. Guys on the radar, worth knowing, of course, he's been merging counters with them to get them faster into the field and, of course, keep manpower costs down. Income news too. Time is an incredibly important resource as well, but it's one that is never quantified for you. But it is very important, like, you know, again, proper timings, but also stuff like, you know, ensuring your units spend as little time doing nothing back. You're basically just move back to the fight as fast. Stuff like merging is great for that. You can just merge, get them back in the fight fast. Or again, the multiple engineers or pioneers can repair tanks fast and get them back to the fight fast. So, one of those, I think, important lessons. So, Palmer copy for PFC, very good, thumbs up. We got the company on the eastern side here, going to take into the grenadiers there. Still no doctrine for PFC. Still no doctrine. Admittedly, most of his doctrines kind of feature more mid to late game stuff, unless, you know, early game stuff. Really, I mean, there's lightning roll with the Jaeger light infantry upgrade, obviously. Theoretically, the mortar half track, but all in all, they're very much more focused on the mid to late game part here. Machine gun catching the T-70, being quick to push back there, obviously. Pack shoots whiffs on the T-70. I feel like PFC could try and put a bit more pressure on Kim on some of his flanks, but I can also understand why he's not keen on doing so due to the T-70. But part of me thinks he should at least try and make the attempt in some way. Country down western fuel point there. Eastern fuel point is wide open here, but PFC is just not making the maneuver there at all. Just not making the move. But he can go for an Ostrom now, but likely looking for the Panther 4. Meanwhile, Kimbo's got the mechanized armor company on the way. We'll, of course, have to see what he goes for here. He's likely to go for the K1 and probably going to go for it if PFC just goes for a Panther 4. Like an Ostrom could theoretically force Kimbo to expedite plans to go for the T-3476 instead, because he may not be able to wait for the, you know, K1 to arrive to deal with the Ostrom. Because it's worth noting, Kimbo right now has no anti-tank guns. All he has is the T-70, so I mean, the faster PFC can get something out of the field here versus Kimbo just pressure him with it, I think the better. So, in this regard, the Ostrom would be a strong choice, as it can actually deal with the T-70, but it can also deal a lot of damage to the infantry very fast, even like threaten some wipes there. So, I'd say there's some strong arguments here from PFC to like push out the Ostrom, but he's now moments away from the Panther 4 anyways. Still ship pushing the eastern fuel point, and I feel like PFC is perhaps playing too defensively. We got another Grenadier squad there, plus the Panther 4. And versus the Soviets, in my opinion, you should always be very, very careful about trying to be too passive against the Soviets. Like, the longer you drag out a match with the Soviets, the more likely are just going to overwhelm you and destroy you. Because they can typically, in a lot of cases, like, absorb damage better late game than you can. Mostly because you're not dealing a lot more fire as far as the game goes on. So you typically, like, want to get in your hits as fast as possible and, you know, break them down. Then he's moving against conscious there. Arm Panther 4 almost done there for PFC. Machines running on there should be able to catch them out in the open and stop them. There we go. Dimitri drops dead, and he's being upgraded with the MG42. Guardsman joining in the fun there. 7 kills, slowly approaching Destiny 3. West side, you've got the Pioneers with the conscripts. Pioneers are kind of winning this one, partly due to the support from the nation, also theoretically some other stuff. And there you go, Pack 40 gets got in the T-70. Panther 4 is ready here for PFC and the German army. Still no doctrine. At this point, it's starting to look like it's either Lightning War or Spearhead, because at this point, it could at least go on for, say, Command Tank. Guardsman wiped, that's a great kill there for PFC. Thumbs up. A stinging blow there to Kimbo. Pushing here the T-7 and light tank, got the field coming up, but that could actually be overwhelmed here by PFC's vehicles and armor and cleared out pretty quickly, in particular since it's worth noting Kimbo's no real support for the field gun, so this is actually kind of risky. Like, if PFC realizes what Kimbo's doing, he could actually punish Kimbo quite spectacularly, take out the Panther 4, and then either destroy it or steal it. Machine gun the point in the east side, we got the gunishment for the eastern fuel point. More Pioneers there finally for PFC, sehr good, sehr good. Some mines here and there, I think that'd also be a great addition for PFC. Again, telemines, S-mines, any kind of mines. T-7 holding up there. Grabbing these some fuel put over the Grenadiere. The light machine gun clenched tightly in their hands. Machine gun hold up in the center, close to Destiny 2. Bit of quiet here. I mean, for Kimbo right now, the goal should probably like try and hit PFC on an exposed flank, which looks to be the eastern flank, with maximum force, cause some casualties, and force PFC to have to react, just concede a lot of ground while just throwing away units. And yeah, he is pushing hard east here, very good. Thumbs up to Kimbo. Sometimes one of the important elements of chemistry is also being able to like read what opponent's disposition and then like hit them where the weakest. Molotov off there, gun is being pushed back there, cover's being slightly denied to them. Good push here. PFC seems fairly slow to react to this. We are seeing slowly machine being brought up to deal with this, but he's not making like any major moves. Like theoretically, right now, the way Kimbo's handling this, you could actually threaten the flank here by heading up behind Kimbo's forces there. But there you go, K1 heavy tank on that for Kimbo. That's definitely going to require some more serious firepower from PFC. Stoops would be my personal recommendation, or a bunch of packs. Or get some telemines down, hope you can bait it into them. Do have some telemines down the western PFC, very good. And these, so I've got the T-7 the armored car. Got these some fuel point denied to PFC and the Germans. The Brandenburger Panzergrenadier Division, which was basically the old special operations unit Brandenburgers, basically turned into a Panzergrenadier Division. Fun fact. Okay, one they're almost done. Machine moving forwards. PFC's got excellent map control right now. This is Kimbo, by the way. Got most of the map, got most of the victory points. Excellent play there. But still no doctrine for PFC. Still no doctrine. Again, I'm getting that feeling he's going to want to go for heavy tank and then try and stall in for it. Which, yeah, he's going for Spearhead. And he is going for tier 4. Only one Panther 4, one Pack 40. There's obviously going to be a second Pack 40 at some point in the near future from PFC, because he's going to need 2 Pack 40s and there's the KD1, and even that may struggle a bit. Nope, by the way, here the use of aircons by PFC. 2 thumbs up. Great stuff there. Immediately thumbs about the KD1. But also just gives a good idea as to what Kimbo's moving, and, you know, gives PFC then some good options as to how to, like, specifically wants to deal with this. So, again, 2 thumbs up to PFC. Pretty strong, yet overlooked ability. Having good knowledge as to your opponent's, you know, movements and all that is typically really important and good. Pack forward to the T-70, quick getting over that one. Kimbo's been doing a great job with that T-70, by the way. K1 moving forward, straight at the gun of the east here, and with only 1 Pack 40, PFC will be strong to stop that K1 as it can take a lot of damage. Pioneers routed. Pushing forward here, T-7 getting the Aisel, very good. To the mine there. Just briefly looked like it ought to have been set off. But yeah, I think if PFC had been laying down more mines, particularly here, like, you know, when you actually have more of the map, I think this push from Kimbo could have been on a much worse state. It definitely feels like one of PFC's large oversights. He's just not getting down enough mines. Kimbo going for a fresh guard squad. Thumbs up there to Kimbo and the Red Army. Target weak point, excellent. Good shot. They're stunning the crew briefly. It doesn't look like he can finish it off here, but still, it may cause Kimbo to be a bit more hesitant, since, like, you know your opponent actually knows how to use this ability. He can suddenly turn any attack into a really bad experience if you get caught in front of a lot of anti-tank guns then. As for PFC, I'm guessing we're going to be seeing the Tiger Stall now. I mean, he's going to just try and hold out for the Tiger tank. I mean, he's about one command point away. The big issue is actually fuel, where he's roughly, give or take, 5 minutes away there. So he has to hold up for like 5 minutes, while then holds out for the Tiger tank, which meanwhile gives Kim more time to just bring up more armor, most likely more KV-1s and maybe initially 5. At this point, Kimbo, I think, should all be fairly aware of what doctrine his opponent's gone for, since he's seen the air reconnaissance, and don't think any, well, Blitzkrieg, I believe, had it, but because he's seen nothing else out of it, he may be more likely to expect, you know, okay, this is very likely Spearhead. But he could, you know, maybe make the wrong call and expect, you know, Blitzkrieg. But I think at that point he should be aware that if his opponent going for Blitzkrieg, he'd be seeing the command tank by now. And main gun out in the T-70, very good contact with 40, taking aircraft from machine guns to the armored car. Other sources there, and he's doing with the cannon as well. Another hit the dirt here. Makes them pretty much impossible to suppress, but technically does mean they take more machine gun damage, specifically the heavy machine gun damage. Pack Field and the Barney hit getting killed in the pack. By the way, easily on that one, very good. K1 lead being fixed up. Thumbs up there to Kimbo. Thumbs up, good play. And he's reinforcing. At least this should be reinforcing. Back at ground western field point. Good play there. Kimbo's closing in another K1 here. And PFC losing that field point. It's going to take further time here attack to get out the Tiger tank versus Kimbo. And from PFC, if he's going to go and try and stall for the Tiger tank, he definitely needs to, like, you know, maintain a good fuel like supply. Otherwise, that Tiger tank can be dead. Oh, got the T-70 there. That was a bit of a bad call by Kimbo trying to defend that close, repair close to the front line. He used infantry awareness, which obviously doesn't spot the T-70, but I think what happened is he just, like, you know, probably paid attention on them. Like, there's a lot of engineers, at least something looking like engineers, clustered around that point. He might have used the tactical map, which I think gives a better way there. I don't know. I can't show it there anyways, but yeah, I think what happened is just detected lots of engineers standing about there. That should be a good position. That's like something repair. I'm going to fire both packs. That was pretty ingenious then, if that's what PFC did. Pretty damn ingenious. In fact, I think that's the first time I've seen there was something like that happening there, which, you know, highlights the companies who I think has a lot of depth to it still. Kind of holding out there, but also just highlights the utility of some of these abilities which most players never use, which is never considered. Guardsmen suppressed armor coming forwards. K1 being hauled back, having hit that telemine. PFC, fortunate for Kimbo, was not able to exploit this, lacking more armor and crucially Stoogs. Able to push in with that machine gun towards the centre there. Pack for the moving head here. Conscripts hitting the dirt. West side, we got a conscript push back with the armoured car. Air reconnaissance scouring the skies here. And there we go. Another K1 heavy tank for Kimbo. Gunnies on the conscripts. Armoured car charging forwards for Deutschland. We got Fiend 41 262. K1 there installing dying repairs there, but able to get much respite for that. Pioneer section needs to hit by Kimbo's conscripts. Very good, but there you go. Field gun. Actually using some tracking. Interesting. That gets cleared out anyways. One of these was a misclick by Kimbo, who's like, you know, there was some sort of greater logic to it. But there you go. Destroying the field. Great kill here by PFC. Denying Kimbo like his anti-tank ones. Really not only with the K1 heavy tank here. PFC getting ever closer to that Tiger tank. Ever closer. But until then, though, it's going to be at the mercy of those two K1 heavy tanks. Being how many of the Panther for the Grenadiers. Shot fired, whiffed, and there you go. K1 tank number 2 ready. Pets over there blasted across the dirt here by the Panther 4. We got 9 kills on it. Also got the Sturmovik attacks ready here. So if Kimbo could, like, theoretically set up a good push with those and using those two, he could do some serious damage to PFC, but there goes pushing it nonetheless. He's not like scouting ahead, he's calling in, he's just going now for it. Air support called in here, Grenadiers routed, K1's pushing forward, shots bouncing. Target point in there you go. Sturmovik's tank through the pack through. Kimbo's pushing forward, got one K1 middle flank path, infantry flank will wait for the first one. PFC's positions are being hammered. The packs are getting completely outmaneuvered now. He was not ready for this. He got too close to Kimbo's base, And Kimbo exploited this. He just completely catch PFC off guard. He got too overconfident with that. Kimbo delivers a hell of a slap across the face. Both packs cleared out. The Panzer IV with the main gun out. PFC is still waiting for the Tiger tank, but now the entire front line has collapsed under the weight of Kimbo's backhand blow. Armored car dealing with him immediately is trying to. Packs cleared out. The Pioneer's being routed, possibly wiped. One pack destroyed. Second one about to go down. Machine gun pointlessly about to find semi-armored pissing lads. I think PFC might in fact be panicking under this. He does have the Tiger tank out, but he just suffered a huge blow there across the center. Tiger tank moving forward, great here on the K1 heavy tank. He's infantry, they're suffering elsewhere. Armored car being pursued by the other K1, which is close to 22. Does not pursue. He must be worried about Kimbo has hiding there. He's terrifying. There you go. Armored car knocked up at the K1 there. PFC continues to suffer heavy losses there under Kimbo's withering and scathing assault here. That was brutally beautiful and efficient there by Kimbo. And highlights that sometimes, you know, a good attack can really do wonders if executed properly. I mean, clearly PFC was just not ready for that, and by using the air support to remove any infantry support, the packs were much more exposed and forced to fall back. And with only one Panther IV getting hit, nothing else really stopped the tank with. So that was a great maneuver there by Kimbo, and really just completely caught PFC off guard. He does have the Tiger tank out now, but still up against 2 K1 tanks, and Kimbo could theoretically follow up with more stuff to back them up, like H25s, even H26s, maybe probably not, but he could. At which point the Tiger tank's going to be further out gun. Obviously, one-on-one, the K1 is not favoured against the Tiger tank. Let's say 2 K1s. Suddenly things look a bit better there for Kimbo, particularly supported by infantry and other elements. Got air reconnaissance for PFC trying to ascertain the situation there for Kimbo and perhaps, you know, find a way out of this mess. Panther 14 dying into repairs. We got 328 versus 225. Continental on the center. Tiger tank shoots, whiffs on the shot there. Grabbing these some fuel point, field gun away there for Kimbo. Very good. Thumbs up. K1 striking at the isolated these there. Tiger tank not responding. Con's taking a hit there. Field gun halfway done. Con's being hammered here by the Tiger tank. Tiger tank was the K1. Both. I actually think the K1 got a penetrate in the Tiger tank of all things. That's a bit awkward there for PFC. And to take away there for Kimbo. This is 3 divisional field gun. K1 moving forward here for Kimbo. Shot fired, punch straight for the K1's armor. Getting a return hit on the Tiger tank. Tiger tank, in fact, roughly down to half health. The K1s keep pursuing here by the looks of it. Kimbo doesn't care. Kimbo wants blood. Panther IV good to go. Sandbags in the centre. On the west side here we got the MD-42 that puts back the Guardsman. But yeah, the situation for PFC is looking fairly uncomfortable now. Like that just stalled for the Tiger tank. Really just gave Kimbo that opportunity to just push through there and just completely blindside PFC. Like if PFC not trying to stall for the Tiger tank just for more medium armor, I think that push would have been a lot more dangerous for Kimbo. Plus, of course, again, still no mines from PFC. Down to them, caught with MD-42, pinned down to the ground. Worth noting, their ability to their fighting positions does not render them immune to suppression. Unlike, you know, hit the dirt from the conscripts. That was fanfare. There you go, K1 getting shot at. Taking a bit of damage, field gun ready though. Need to go for that Panther there though. Mr. PFC needs to be very careful. Great hit here. H25 tanks on for Kimbo to back up the field in the 2K1, so that's definitely going to make things even further difficult and uncomfortable for PFC. Great hit on the Panther 4 there by the K1 heavy tank. Half H veteran 2, other one is in fact veteran 2 already. PFC assault tanks run out of infantry, which is another problem as Kimbo still has 4 infantry squads, but PFC with only 2 it's going to struggle to make much of an impact on the field, but also clear out, you know, support weapons and whatnot. Titan needs to counter the control, pushing it back. And there you go, H25 tank is now ready for Kimbo and the Red Army. K1 the rolling forwards. Like a Stalinist behemoth. It thunders towards the German lines. There you go. Panther caught here directly by the K1. Punches straight through the armour. Very close between that one. Got movement on the flank here. Target tank goes straight for the centre to the field gun and constantly into tank grenades. So this could get awkward. There you go. Got these targets as well. There. Air support called in. Right next to PFC's base here. Kimbo's cheekiness knows no breakiness. Guns being hounded by the K1 heavy tank. Air support raining down death. The K1 bombarding. Heavy losses there for PFC's infantry. Mauled to within an inch of their life. Tiger tank in the middle of the target spot as well, trying to do something, but he can't figure out what he can do here versus Kimbo, as Kimbo just trounces onwards for the glory of Comrade Stalin and his mustache. Eastern point being held up within 42. Aircraft shot down. What's the thing going on? Other way. K1 going to the base here. Panther fixed up. They immediately got response there by PFC. Infantry suppressed inside the base, getting hammered with the K1 there. Got 275 to 222. Machine gun there dropped. Cleared out there. Grenadiers taking heavy losses. Pack around on the flank here. Machine gun banger being hammered. We got the East firing up here for Kimbo for the glory of the Red Army. Bunker shattered. Tiger tank half health. KV1 tank taken out. Small win there for PFC, but I feel like the situation is still very much stacked against him as Kim continues to control most of the map, most of the resources, and can just keep adding in more armor, much more easily compared to PFC at the moment. Plus he's more infantry. Tracking again, thumbs up to Kimbo. Following it back here. Tiger tank watch one move here for PFC. 260 to 222. See, Kimbo's just happily giving ground here to PFC. Need to be careful of that field, and there you go. Tiger tank to the deep flank, but needs to be careful. It could hit a mine and then get taken up with the Issue-5, for example. Or the K1, there you go. Looks like he might be baiting in the Tiger tank. There you go. Flanking the Tiger tank with the K1. Seems like might take out the Issue-5. It's going to take a lot of damage to the process here from the K1 flank. And there we go. Got the Issue-5, but the Tiger tank now is in incredibly high risk of taking out. He's going to try and hold back. The market is sitting in front of the field gun. He can get destroyed. Pack forward nearby. Shot bounce off the rear armor. That's fairly lucky there for PFC. But exposed to the rear armor there. He's trying to get away there. Tiger tank, I think, is incredibly high odds they're being destroyed. And there you go. Down it goes. Schwerer Panzer kaputt. And with that, I think PFC is very much adrift at sea without, you know, a paddle or a boat. And Stalin is sharks out there. So there you go. GG, game over. A loss here for PFC, a victory for Kimbo. Really intense fight here with some great maneuvers on both sides. And then, though, PFC was really undermined here with that Tiger play. Like, it really just cost him so much time, momentum, and issues allowed Kimbo to, like, make a great push, and PFC just couldn't recover from that because, again, he then proceeded to spend all his resources on the Tiger tank, which is not really that great. It's honestly, I think, still very much inefficient. And I don't think the upcoming buffs they're going to apply to it will make much of a difference there, to be honest. So, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family, do tell enemies, and of course, do consider donating or pledging on Patreon. This has been Paul Links in Tears. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.